Hello. So this is going to be pretty quick because I've gone through emails and messages and things, and most of the questions are the same. Just lots of you are asking the same question. So just got some pretty tags there for you to look at, and my coffee. So the biggest question I have is, what printer do I use? So I've got 3 printers, and that it was a complete mistake. I ended up with 3 printers because I bought an Epson EcoTank 7750, and it's an A3 printer, and I purchased the A3 printer solely because I thought the scanner would also be A3, and it wasn't. But I love the printer so much, I wanted to keep that printer. So I also bought a Workforce A3, which I use solely for scanning. I know it's pointless because I live in a little house. I have a huge printer which does nothing but scan. It's never ever had anything through the printer. No, that's a lie. I did put some tea-dyed paper through it, which is kind of another question I get occasionally. I do not print onto tea-dyed paper. On my previous EcoTank, I made a complete mess of it. I ironed it and got the tea-stained paper really flat, but when I put it through the printer, it just kind of got clogged up and the ink went all over the page, and it was a nightmare, and it took a long time to get the printer back up and running correctly. So I don't put tea-dyed paper through my printer after that episode. I have put it through the Workforce, did pretty much the same thing, ended up with black ink all around the edges, so I'm clearly not ironing it enough. I just don't do it. So that leads me to my 3rd printer. I have a black laser printer, which I use. I never really use it. It's been used for one batch of maybe 2 batches I've put through paper that I want to tea dye, and I've done digital stamping on it. So that's that printer. All 3 of those printers are on my website, so you can see exactly what printers I use. I am an Amazon affiliate, so there's a little notice at the top if you know. Anyway, not trying to sell you anything in this video at all. The second question I get is the paper I use to print. So if you are printing a digital or any type of photograph or picture or pattern, and you print it onto copier paper is porous, and you're going to get a bleed and you're going to get a fuzzy image to varying degrees, and that will be the same on cardstock. If you're printing kind of sepia, muted neutral tones onto cardstock, that looks great. You know, you get that vintage look. But if you want a crisp image, then you need to use a photo paper, because a photo paper has a coating on, so the ink sits on the top. It doesn't soak into the paper. It doesn't bleed your picture. I always print best quality, and I use the Epson paper because I have an Epson printer. And this goes back to my photography days. I would always recommend you use the paper that's recommended for your printer. However, other photo papers will work just as well in your printer, but you won't be able to do your correct print settings unless you install that paper onto your print drive. So I use Epson photo quality paper, which is a copier paper thickness, but it's coated. So then I use that for all journal pages, and then I use the heavyweight matte Epson photo paper for ephemera. But I still back my ephemera because it's still not really thick, but it's got that matte look. I like that paper. So that's what I use to print on. Of course, I print on tracing paper and a vellum, and I've printed on all sorts of fabrics. I've got a canvas sheets I have shown in a previous video many moons ago, but that was designed to go through an inkjet printer. So okay, inkjet printers, again, if you want to tea stain them, there are ways to do it, but it's going to bleed. You know, you can get sprays to go over the top and things like that, but I'm happy to ink. I'm happy to ink my prints, and sometimes I don't do that. I'm happy with the prints the way they are. I'm not saying it doesn't look fantastic if you do it. It's just not what I do. Okay, so here's the biggie. This is the current question. My glue bottle and my glue. So this is the glue bottle I've been using, and Lorelle, the wonderful Lorelle, who sent me this glue bottle, has just done a fantastic video explaining everything you need to know about this glue bottle, and that's brilliant. So I'm going to link that. Now, if you're in the UK, you're going to have a few little issues. I'm not going to go over everything Lorelle talks about in her video. I'm just going to link it. But the bottle is this, the Sugar Belle, Sweet Sugar Belle, okay, and it's an icing bottle. If you are in the UK, I had to buy a spare, Lorelle, because I'm so worried something's going to happen to this bottle. I bought a spare, okay. So this is my spare bottle, waiting in case anything happens to this one, because this is a life-changing glue bottle. This particular bottle you can purchase. There is a link on my website under my tools and materials that I use, and it's a weight. This was, you know, during lockdown, when it was quite heavy lockdown, so it did take a while for mine to come. But it is estimated generally within 2 weeks. Okay, so you can get this bottle. The one thing you can't get is the tip. The tip is on American Crafts. They would not ship unless I spent... Actually, I don't think they would ship at all. They're quite cheap if you're in the US. But if you're in the UK, I've done a few purchases and a little bit of research. And if you are in the UK and you get this bottle, you can buy these tops. Okay, and these are also on my website. There is a link to these. And they do fit. The small ones do fit. I have it on very good authority. They fit other icing bottles. Okay, but this large bottle, this large cap will fit on there perfectly. Okay, so it's going to do the same job as this, because the tip doesn't come to the end of this silicone top and it doesn't come to the end of this silicone top, but it fits. So that's a solution if you're in the UK. The smaller one I'm going to show you does fit, and it will slide straight onto that top. Oh, wrong bottle. Okay, so it will go on, and it's just as secure. It's not coming off there. So either way, these came in a pack of 2. So I did send one to somebody, and I also sent them some tops. Okay, so there you go. The glue bottle. I had so many people saying, where did you get it from? I was like, I don't know. I didn't get it from a shop. I got it from a friend. But now you know. So Lorelle's video will be linked. UK still got the option of purchasing these, and the link is on my website. And the glue inside it, I use Fabri-Tac. I love it. It's just my glue. It's lots of people's glue. I have tried the 3-in-1, and for some reason it's so similar, but I still don't like it. So I use Fabri-Tac, and the other glue I use is art glitter glue. Okay, that's the other one I use. And today, yesterday, I had to make a quick purchase because my daughter wanted she wanted my glue stick. So I thought last night, really quickly, so I've got it today, just go onto Amazon Prime, quickly grab a glue stick, and it came today. This is just my tip. Pay attention. Pay attention when you order something in a hurry, because you could end up with, I mean, this is going to be fabulous for collage. But it will, yeah. You know, there you go. But this is also now my new glue. So glue, that was that. Okay, next one. Charms. Where do I get my charms? I get them from Amazon, and I get them from Etsy, and I get them from eBay. I used to get charms from AliExpress. I don't anymore. I think something changed. I mean, this was a while ago. apart from the fact, you know, they're always selling counterfeit digital kits from various sellers, which obviously, of course, I don't agree with. But because they, you know, I don't buy from AliExpress. Very rarely do I find the need to get on there. And I certainly don't buy things like charms and things like that anymore, because last time I bought something from AliExpress, I think I got 40 paper clips and they ended up costing me £30 because I had to pay the import. I had to pay a tax man again, and it was ridiculous. So I stopped buying. I was probably just really unlucky, because it seems to be that I am. But Amazon, Etsy and eBay, I get my charms from. You know, I generally type in specific things. I did get a lot of dice from AliExpress. I did also get a lot from eBay, but I did get a lot from AliExpress a while ago, but I haven't purchased anything from AliExpress for quite a long time. Okay, next thing, binder clips. I showed on my key. I mean, this is just, let me just grab a couple. I put my key charms on one of these clips. Okay, they are called skeleton binder clips. There's not a lot to them, which makes them more expensive. You know, less metal, more expensive. So I bought some stupid expensive ones from Waterstones, if you are in the UK, and I think there were 6 or 8 in a pack for £12, something like that. And I bought a couple of packs of those. I won't be buying those anymore. I found some black ones in the works, again, only suitable if you're in the UK. I bought several from Etsy, and I bought several from Amazon. The ones from Amazon were metallic colours. I think they're purples and pinks and things, and I did use them in a series of journals a while ago. But yeah, Waterstones works, Etsy, Amazon, you can get these, and they are skeleton binder clips. So that's those. That's something else I was asked about. I still get asked about my tear ruler, and I don't actually use it very often, but because I've used it in a lot of the older videos, this tear ruler, or a deckled edge ruler, is the Joy Crafts ruler, and again, there's a link to this on my website, but that's what you need to search if you're looking for that. My trimmer, I have this big thing from Fiskars, and I tell you what, I love it. I absolutely love it. I also have the small guillotine from Tim Holt's Tonic Studio one. I don't use this particularly often because I find it a little bit difficult to line up the cut line. And I also have this little Fiskars one. I like this because it's got the wire, so you can see exactly where you're cutting. The reason I don't use this very much is because the blade is blunt and it has been for a very long time, and I haven't got round to getting a new blade because I have other cutters. So that's that. Trimmer. Next one. This is the last thing that I actually found a note from your messages and things, was where do I get my books from? Everywhere. I very, very rarely buy a new book. I do buy new books, but not for craft or for work or for art or anything like that. 90% of my books, they start from charity shops and car boot sales if we have them in the summer. But charity shops is where I always go for books. If I find a book that I like, I want to repurchase that, I will go to Amazon and pick up books from Amazon. But really, they're the only, ledger books that I have bought from eBay and from vintage shops and antique shops and vintage shops. Clarabelle, my favourite vintage shop locally. I get a lot of a lot of books from her, but generally it's secondhand shops of some kind. And then if I need to repurchase one, I'll go to Amazon and search for that book. But I don't get them from anywhere special, you know. I don't have a specific place. It is just, you know, knocking about the charity shops really, which I've really missed, and I'm sure many of us have. I think that was everything. That I managed to just, you know, skip through the messages and make notes of. It was mainly the printing and the glue, binder clips and charms. I think they were the biggest things. I think that's it. So nice quick video. I hope that's answered a few of your questions. Most of everything I use is on my website, so, you know, check that out if I haven't gone over anything you've asked, and I'll always try and answer anything I can anyway. And if anybody knows, if I reply to a comment on YouTube, I then get no notification if you've made a reply back to me, and I can only scroll through a couple of pages. So if anybody knows how to get I used to get notifications and I don't anymore, so I don't know what's going on with that. Oh, that's it. One more thing I thought I'd talk about, and that's Etsy. I get, I don't know how many a day, you know, lots of saying, where's my downloads? Where are my downloads? In Etsy help, there's a link that says how to get your downloads. But if you've signed in, don't ever purchase as a guest is my advice. But if you've signed in and you've purchased a product, a digital file, at the top right hand corner of your Etsy page, there's a U tab. If you click on the U tab, there's purchases and reviews underneath that. If you click on that, you'll see all of your purchases, and next to that there is a download button, and that's where you need to go. You can get it from the link that Etsy sends you. That link doesn't come from me, it comes directly from Etsy, so it's not something I can resend you, but your files will always be in that U tab. If your download button is not there, 99% of the time that can be rectified by logging out of Etsy on all of your devices and then logging back in. It just needs to refresh your connection. If that doesn't work, it could be because your payment hasn't yet cleared, or it could be there's a glitch with Etsy. So if I email you files, that's never going to really help you out. You really need access to your files 100% of the time through that Etsy link, through that purchase link. So if you've logged out, logged back in, your payment is cleared, if it's still not there, then I would contact Etsy, and Etsy can rectify the glitch. And I've had conversations with several people over the last few weeks that have then gone to Etsy and they have resolved it quite quickly, you know, because I can't rectify that issue if your download button isn't there, other than say, you know, just try and refresh your Etsy link. I hope it's helped a little bit. If there's any other questions, you know, just let me know and I can always do a second one. I hope I haven't been too bored. It's 20 minutes, it's a bit longer than I was hoping. I will see you all again soon, probably for more tags. And thanks to everybody. Yeah, these tags are amazing. You're doing fantastic work on these tags. There's some amazing things coming through. I will see you soon. Thanks again. Bye.